Hey there, y'all. This is Jack, and today we're discussing Giselle Gewelle, Sternritter Z, the zombie. I'm gonna be straight up and say it. If all the Sternritters out of all of them, this is the one I would hate to fight the most because Giselle, his powers are freaking crazy and really good. I can't believe it. Yeah, so you all know already. If you're watching this review, I greatly appreciate. We're just gonna go through this character analysis, and just essentially just talk about Giselle, essentially, and how he plays a part in the story and how terrifying he is. Like, I would rather fight Asnod, I'm not gonna lie, over Giselle. Giselle's just... He says he's not sadist, but... I mean, come on. So, alright. Let's talk about him. Okay. He's a part of the Sternritters. Obviously, he's dressed like as a girl, you know. My theory on that is that he, more than likely just killed another female Sternritter, not Sternritter, but female Quincy, and merged their body onto his own, which is why he has like that feminine appearance. I don't think he really molded his own body to look like a female. I think he legit, grafted on a female's body onto his own, which is why he still smells like a male to Yuma Chica. That's my theory on that. All right. So yeah, let's just go right into Giselle. Essentially, also Giselle's. Okay, hold on. Let me just ask you guys something. What's your favorite thing and least favorite thing about Giselle? I'll give you mine at the end of the video, but let me know what you guys is a favorite moment with Giselle and least favorite moment with Giselle. Let me know that. I'd be very interested to hear what y'all have to say. All right. Also, Giselle was born on December 24th. I looked up on the wiki to see the birthday because I was just curious, and I just thought that was interesting. I did not expect December, to be honest. But anyway, let's jump into the character analysis, shall we? Alright, so yeah, the first time we see Giselle is when Giselle, him, and the other Sternritters walk in on Bambietta after slicing up that one Quincy. The Quincy's are not that great people, let's just admit it. Essentially, so yeah, they're telling Bambietta, we gotta get with the meeting and all that stuff, which is interesting because they didn't have that part in the manga. So, yeah, also on the manga on 65, Giselle manages to get on the manga, but not my boy Gerard. Life's unfair sometimes, I'm just gonna say it. So yeah. And then next time we see Giselle's when in the anime actually when they're marching out to go fight the Soul Reapers in the second invasion. And we see Giselle following Bambietta when Bambietta, realizes the Bankai's not used. Giselle and the rest of the Sternritters just split. And Bambietta, of course, being furious, she fights Komamura and Shinji, which of course doesn't really go well for Bambietta because Bambietta has to use her Volt Standing, and then Giselle activates her wings, her Volt Standing as well, with along with Candace. And we see something interesting. She has a tail that was not in the manga; it was added in the anime, which is neat detail. I like that a lot that they added more to Giselle's design, even though it's just the wings. It's also sprouts a tail. But later on we'll see more added onto that. And after, of course, Bambietta is destroyed and killed. Well, not killed, but defeated. Giselle and the rest of the Sternritters just gather around Bambietta. And to my headcanon, Giselle just throttled. Like, I think it was implied, but she just throttled Bambietta to death. And the rest of the Sternritters just watched because they didn't like Bambietta. That's what I think happened. The next time we see Giselle, of course, is against Kenpachi, but Giselle kind of just hangs back to not fight Kenpachi, but gets cut by one of the Soul Reapers. As Tekken wants to name them, I think Dave. Dave, the Soul Reaper, attacks. Yeah, I mean, good on you, Dave, but you didn't expect Giselle's power to be, blood splatters all over you and take control of everyone that the blood splatters on. And Joe's like, all right. Seppuku, and they all just kill themselves. Like, again, that power is freaking insane. You damage him, and the blood gets on you, and yeah, you're under his control. Like that's terrifying. Like, imagine in battle, like Giselle's blood like splurts like a fountain when you cut him. It's insane. And after we see Giselle next up fight, I believe it's Ichigo, right? Yeah, Ichigo. When Ichigo arrives from the Soul Palace, he comes down, and the Sternritters attack him. And Giselle, fires his bow. Again, very, skeleton theme. Appropriate. I like it. As Giselle, realizes him and the rest of the Sternritters are like, okay, yeah, we're not going to beat him this way. Then Candace, tells him, all right, we got to, really go up. And she activates Scrave Ray, which the others activate Scrave Ray too. and they all do this their signature. What do they call it? Like not fantasy girl, magical girl transformation, where they go into it and Giselle gets one too, which gave me a lot of putty prisoner vibes from One Punch Man, if you know who that is. And Giselle gets it, where we see the tail and also rib cages around his chest, which is interesting. Again, very neat detail that they added for the anime only. I like that stuff a lot. And then he uses one of his powers, which is where he creates 4 skeletons, and they're called Dancing Dead Boy Club. All right, when they attack you, they kind of just split when you attack them, and their bones kind of wrap around you. And he also uses where he creates these skulls on his hands, and he says, "Munchy munchy babies." Okay, and then I'm not gonna lie, I laughed hard, not because it's like mean to the character or anything, but just a comedic moment of when Leloto creates a giant bear trap, and it clamps right down Giselle and Ichigo, and the way Ichigo kind of blocks it. And it saves Giselle, but one of the other family members knocks Ichigo out of the way to just clamps and just severs Giselle's head. And Giselle's just like, ah! And then as the body just tumbles with the head again, I thought that was like funny. I really found that comedic. It was just so funny to me. I don't know about you guys, but I found like again, I'm not saying it because I hate this character. I just found it so funny. It was just a funny moment because Giselle is a zombie and he's gonna live even if his head's cut off. So remember that his head's cut off. I will bring that up later on. Then again, when the next time Giselle gets attacked by Basby, then the Quincy's are all gonna go all for one against Ichigo. But then Yuha takes out the Soul Palace, just makes a massive explosion, separates everyone, and it's Ikaku and Yumachika against Giselle. And Giselle's kind of goading them by like, "Nah, don't cut me. No, you wouldn't want to hurt me, right? I mean, I can't really defend myself, but you guys wouldn't want to hurt me, right? I mean, come on, man, I'm an innocent little girl." And Ikaku and Yumachika are like, "Okay, yeah, there's some, clearly she wants to attack her, right?" And Yumachika's like, "Yeah, but hold on. You're a dude, aren't you?" And Giselle's like, "Huh?" And then kind of gives like an evil smirk as a Bambietta zombie arrives, And yeah, zombie Bambietta's like ready, like owns them, like pretty bad too. Like if because the way they do get a good hit on Bambietta, but Bambietta's a zombie because they stab her in the throat with Ikaku's Zanbakuto, his Shikai. Stabs Bambietta in the throat. Bambietta is obviously still alive. Gonna create an explosion. Yumachika cuts off her hand, but nope, the wings just fire explosions point blank right at Yumachika and Ikaku. And Giselle's like, "All right, I'm gonna turn you to a zombie." And my Yuri arrives. And then we get a battle of essentially zombies, which is cool zombies. Pretty cool. I love that a lot. As we get them, just coming at each other with when I say coming at each other, it's more like my Yuri's are Ronkar zombies, which are much more intelligent than Giselle zombies. But the thing with Giselle zombies is when their blood splashes on you, no effect. Unlike it's with the actual host Giselle, as long as his blood gets on you, it gets you. But if it's the blood of the zombies that he controlled, no, that won't affect you whatsoever. Even if you are in a Ronkar zombie, which I got a question to ask y'all. All right, okay, Quincy's are naturally weak to a Ronkars, right? Like their reishi is poisonous to Quincy's, right? So does that mean Giselle's blood would it actually affect a Ronkars? Like, would it really? Honestly, I don't know. My thoughts on giving Giselle the benefit of the doubt, like if the Ronkars or hollows are weak enough, it would affect them. If she's trying to, if he tries to hit like a Priviona Spada or an Espada rank, like it probably wouldn't affect him because it'll be too strong for it. But if it hit like a Fraction that's weak, I assume it would probably take control of it. Like if Giselle fought Zalafaro's Fractiones, it'd probably affect them because how crazy they are. But then they are experimented on, so who knows? But I'm assuming if the Hollow or Ronkar is weak enough, probably because again, Ronkars are natural counters to the Quincy's. They're reishi. So maybe not. Maybe I'm giving Giselle's ability too much of benefit of the doubt, but that's kind of my thought. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But of course, Giselle, attacks Mayuri with Bambietta. Coolhorn defeats Bambietta easily, and then Giselle calls in Toshiro, and with Mayuri deducing that, yeah, obviously Toshiro has a different hue to him, so Giselle must have done something differently, which Giselle confirms. Yeah, of course, I turned Toshiro into a zombie before. I killed him because if I kill him, then yeah, obviously his reactions and everything won't be as good, as before dying, which actually makes sense on Giselle. Good showing, and also Giselle revealing all this is like, okay, I could buy, because Giselle is pretty confident in his abilities. I gotta say, he's very, very confident, and also the fact that he's like, yeah, you got a very powerful captain in Toshiro. Toshiro's really good because he easily deals with Yumachika and Igaku like that. Granted, they're wounded, but he would have owned them regardless. Like, there's no fact. Like, he brutalizes them. Then we get the fight of Mayuri versus Toshiro. Actually, a really cool fight. I'm not gonna lie. But then obviously, after Toshiro, cuts Coolhorn, some of Coolhorn's blood gets on Toshiro, which affects the medicine that Mayuri has on Toshiro that he wants to test out, and of course, that drops Toshiro, and Mayuri, inject Toshiro with another medicine that just complete agony. And then the other zombies come in, which is Rose and Kitse and Rankiku. So interesting that Giselle got Rose and Kinsei. So what happened? What happened to Isane? Because last time we saw them, it was with Isane. So did Isane just get overpowered and just bail on Rose and Kinsei? I don't think so. I don't think so. I would assume that Isane just, well, at the time she would assume they were dead because they kind of worked as a Grammy. She left them and then went off to go find other help, and then that's when Giselle got to them. That's what I'm assuming happened. Then when Grammy died, they kind of just came back to life, as I should say. That's what I'm assuming happened. But then, of course, Mayuri drops them, and I don't know why Mayuri stabs Giselle once and thinks it's done. And the next time we see Giselle, Mayuri's like, "Oh, I figured you'd be alive. You are a zombie after all." And I'm thinking, Mayuri, you of all people should, knock Giselle down, like, and be sure, like, you're that kind of guy, I assume that he probably thought that would be it, but I don't know. For me, that was just a big, on Mayuri's part, like a very big mistake. He should have stabbed Giselle with Akistoki Jizu, but Giselle being a zombie, you could have just hand waved it away. Yeah, Giselle's a zombie. It didn't affect Giselle all that much. But actually, before all that happened, next time we actually see Giselle, is Giselle sucking some blood out of Bambietta because Giselle's trying to replenish. And then again, Bambietta's saying, don't take my blood, please don't do it. Giselle's like, what are you doing? Just starts getting Bambietta's hand, just starts bashing into the ground, like, you're a zombie, you're already dead, don't say stuff like that. And then Bambietta's like kind of like dead, or like dead, I guess. But Giselle's like, oh yeah, you're so cute and you're all dead and everything. Then Lilotto arrives and she's like, what? I knew you'd be alive. And Giselle's like, oh, what happened to you? You look pretty beat up. And Lilotto's like, yeah, it was Pepe, and Giselle's like, gross. And they're like, yeah, they're both gross. And then they start talking for a bit, on how Lilotto was the one that put down Manitas, and Candace was taken down by Byakuya. And again, well, we'll say that for a Lilotto video with Lilotto and Robert Akitron. Then next time we see Giselle's when they meet the Soul Reapers, are like, yeah, we're going to team up with you. We want to team up and fight Yuha together with you because, yeah, he betrayed us. We want to get payback. So they help the Soul Reapers create a gate to head to the Soul Palace. And then they kind of use a teleportation technique that's in the Soul Palace, which they use the Sun Gates to teleport directly to the palace. And that's where Basby, Lilotto, and Giselle want to, fight. But they kind of all want to jump, kill Halshwald, but Basby's like, hold on, I'll take Halshwald on my own. You guys focus on his majesty while he's asleep. And they're like, all right, we'll do that. They're dead. Well, actually, next time we see Giselle's just dead on the ground with a hole in his stomach. Same with Giselle, which, okay, so Giselle, when we saw Giselle get his head decapitated, he's still alive. Now, you could make the argument, well, some of their power was taken away, right? The power to go into volt standing, which is like, okay, that's fair. The power to go into volt standing was taken away, so probably they don't have as much as abilities as they have, which is like, okay, that's fair enough. But then why would Giselle and Liloto just go after Yuha if they were not as strong? I get it, he's asleep, but if you still have your ace is like your blood and your mouth thing, yeah, that should give you like at least some confidence. But I don't know, unless we see something in the anime where Yuha specifically takes away all of Giselle's ability and strikes Giselle down, like pop a hole through his stomach. I'm like, okay, makes sense. And I don't know, when you add in the anime, his head getting cut off and he's still kicking, like he's fine. It raises some questions like, okay, what did Yuha do to kill Giselle? Like, if he does an anime where they change it, where he just sucks up all of Giselle's power and pop one shots him, okay, fine. But yeah, that's really Giselle. Let me rate Giselle, like, out of a 1 through 10 of actually how good of a character Giselle is. Giselle is not complicated, but not simple at the same time. Giselle does have some stuff going for him, I will give you that. But again, it's just as simple as a sadistic, crazy person, I'm not gonna lie. So again, Giselle, I would say he's below average. He's a 4 out of 10. Not terrible, like some others we'll get to later on. But yeah, Giselle, interesting. We get enough of his character to figure out what's going on. I don't think we'll get more of him in anime, like more backstory. I think what we got of him is, it's sufficient enough. He keeps some of our heroes occupied. He's good enough for that, and not bad. 4 out of 10, I'd say. And my favorite and least favorite moments. Okay, let's just say least favorite moment of Giselle. Whew. Just saying creepy is just too easy. I'm not gonna lie, that's too easy for Giselle. My least favorite moment of Giselle, I would say, I guess attacking Yuha. Like, really? Like, Giselle should have attacked, went around collecting, Quincy zombies, like how had Liloto kill them, to get, to fill her stomach up, and also have Giselle just turn whatever was into zombies so you could just gain up on Yuha. I mean, you could have done so much better if you just shoot out zombies like that. Yeah, I get Giselle can't turn living Quincy's into zombies, but once they're dead, free game. I'm just saying. So yeah, that was dumb on Giselle's part. Okay, but my favorite moment is when Giselle just grabbed Bambietta's head, just bashed her head in, because I just don't like Bambietta. Bambietta's just, terrible. Bambietta's a terrible person. Terrible character. We'll see when we get to her video. So yeah, that concludes my review of Giselle Gewelle. Sternritter Z the zombie, creepy. Yes, creepier than Asnod, for sure. Anyway, you guys have a good one.